So, that's me. Whenever I go back my hometown, India, and I mean, you can understand I love food like anything. So, food suggestions from Italy, most welcome. Okay. And apart from this, my day job is I work at Clicks. I build Clicks browser, privacy secure browser. And as a volunteer for Mozilla, I give talks, I push code, and do a lots of work around add-on ecosystem in Firefox. Today we'll be talking about progressive web apps. So, what is a progressive web app? Anyone? Oh, not for that room. I really asked for this room. I really think I'm in the wrong room. Is it? Guys, like, this is the topic you are here for, right? I'm just confirming, right? This is the topic we are here for. Okay, let me rephrase the question. How many of you are JavaScript developers here? Oh, okay. I'm in the right room. Not a problem. Okay. So what is a progressive web app? Anyone? Please be my guest. I mean, what it is? Okay, that's why I'm here. No worries. Progressive web app is basically a common ground between website and a native app. It has good of both worlds, a website and a native app. Native app, you have to install and then use it, right? But progressive web app follows the different agenda. You have to first use it, and if you like it, then install, not necessarily install it. Progressive web app has discoverability of web and retention of an app. How many of you resonate on this with me? Perfect. Now it looks like we're in the right room. Cool. As Alec Russell puts it, they are the websites that took just the right vitamins. They're nothing more than a website, but actually just with some enhanced functionality. And let's see what they are. Why are we talking about PWAs here? Any guesses? Coffee. Because JavaScript. A disclaimer, I'm really lazy. So just to make sure that I don't sleep, just keep me awake, right? So as a JavaScript developer, I really want to go everywhere where JavaScript takes me. Like, just to build a mobile app, I really don't want to learn another language. If I know JavaScript, the same skill set, plus the maintainability of my code. I code once, I want to deploy it everywhere. I want to use it everywhere. I don't want to make modifications for Android. I don't want to make modifications for iOS or maybe desktop browser. Why not port it everywhere? That's why PWAs. It's installable. How many of you resonate on this? Okay. It's work offline. Perfect. Getting better. Faster load time. Depends. Okay. Can anyone just give a wild guess like how it can be faster than the normal website? Anyone? Sorry? There you go. Push notifications. I know everyone is equally annoyed with that because it's overused, it's overexploited. Every website asks me, hey, do you want to have a notification? The default answer is no, right? But still we have it. All in all, what PWA gives is, with the help of modern JS, an app-like user experience, right? How a PWA look like? This is a website, and while surfing a website, you get something like this, add to home screen. So that's the installation part. This helps you to install your PWA. Once you add it, you have an icon. I'm not sure if you can see it. This is the icon. Once you install it, you have an icon. And once you click an icon, it has a splash screen with the logo or whatever you want to design, whatever color, whatever theme you want. And then you can actually use it. So precisely, that's a just headless browser, right? So, but it's in the form of an app. It is persistent. loads offline, and it has push notifications. So, how to make a PWA? How many of you know that? Okay, let's refresh. We have something called as web app manifest. So in every developer ecosystem, manifest is the thing which actually is the first entry point, right? Which has metadata of your app, your website, or anything. So in our case, it has metadata of our app. It has name which it needs to display on the icon, the logo of the icon, start URL, which is the first URL which I should, first file which should I open, and background color, display, theme color. So it's very static and generic. So adding this will most probably help you to at least install to your home screen. But still, it will just install, do nothing, kind of bookmark. What's next? Service workers. Service workers are really, really small scripts. It should be small, ideally, which basically runs in the browser context. Like when you open a website, all you can do is inside your web page. You cannot communicate out of the web page. And once you close the web page, the thing is gone. You have no control over anything. But this thing works in a background and has a lot more control. Basically, they are building blocks of PWA. Once you have your service worker, you are almost there with PWA. First thing the service worker help us is caching. How many of you know caching? Okay, let me repeat. How many of you know browser caching? And how many of you know server caching? And how many of you know service workers caching? Okay. Once you, suppose you have a browser caching, you have a website, abc.com, and you open it. It serves the content from cache itself next time if it is browser cached. But just imagine if there is no internet. Will it serve any content? Or a 404 page? Or address cannot be found, something like that, right? There comes service worker caching. So what we do basically, we tell the service worker, hey, cache these files, and whenever a request is made to this file, you have an option as a developer where to serve it from. Maybe a network call, or maybe a local cache. Just to have a look, this is a typical service worker, what it looks like. The first thing we have is install. So whenever service worker is installed, we ideally tell it which files to be cached. For example, it's a very simple index, script, and style. So I tell like to this cache key, my cache, I will bind these 3 files. So these 3 files will be stored right in your browser. Okay? It creates a cache and bind these 3 files with the cache key. Now I will capture the fetch event. So fetch event is basically whenever you make a call, whenever there is a HTTP call, this event will be called first. And here I can decide what to do. If I have that cache, if I have that file in cache, I will serve it from my cache. Okay? Else I will serve it from event. That precisely say, if you have in your offline storage, serve it from there. Else get a network call. Now coming back to initial thing, I said PWAs are a bit faster. Does it make sense how it is faster? It cuts the network call. But be very, very, thoughtful while using this. You should not cache the dynamic things. For example, your API calls. Never, ever. Because you always want the fresh data, right? But these structures may not change that frequently, maybe over a month, maybe 6 months, right? This is always you can cache. Push notifications. I personally feel I should never talk about this because whole world knows about this, right? The thing is how to use it or how to include this in your system. This is the simplest way. The only thing you have to do is whenever the service worker is activated, you have to subscribe the push. This is default settings how the push manager is subscribed. And you have to capture the push event. Whenever you have the push event, just show the notification. I use the static data, but you can get the data from here whenever the server sends the push. Okay, so this is about the service worker. But this was not my talk all about, right? My talk was on PWA and steroids. Now again the question, how many of you know PWAs? I did a bit decent job then. We have some more hands now. Okay, so let me tell a bit more about PWA and steroids. PWA is not a new thing. It has been there for, let's say, 3 years, right? Like you have heard this term at least before 3 years, everyone? I'm not the only one exercising, right? I need though, but not the only one. Okay, so this has been for long, more than 3 years, but still we're always stuck to, let's say, push notification, service worker, offline caching, these kind of stuff. But PWAs with the modern browser are a lot better than that. And today we will be working how to get the most from our browser. Oh, that scared me, sorry. Okay, what are the prerequisites? Any guesses? HTTPS. There you go. Whatever we will be talking beyond this point will work only and only on HTTPS. That's the thumb rule for any browser API. Second thing, browser compatibility. What I'm going to discuss may and may not work on all the browser, but most of the browsers, and if it's not working, it's still in progress. The work is in progress and it will be implemented in the browsers. So before using any of the thing which I'm going to show further, make sure they're compatible with your target browser, your target audience. So here are your steroids. First one, speech synthesis. How many of you know this? Okay. How many of you know this term, text to speech? Okay, so precisely okay, leave it. Sorry, I was going to say something which I shouldn't, but okay. So what text to speech does, you have a text and it will speak out for you. Like for example, accessibility readers, right? Most of the time we do it generally using a third-party plugin, like maybe Flash or something, or maybe some third-party APIs or JavaScript libraries, right? What if I say I can do that right in my browser without any plugin, without any third-party API? Third-party API as in remote API? You want to see it? And this is the part where I needed my speaker to work. And let's test our speaker is working or not. Okay, so this is a small speech synthesizer. What I will do, I will type, which I really need to say to all of you. And let's see if it works. Oh, it's working. Not my program, the speaker. I was very sure this will work. I will give you a disclaimer when I know it's going to fail, because whenever you give a live demo and that includes something which is not in your system, may or may not work. So just beware with me. Okay, let's try again. Good morning. Okay. The thing is, my browser supports lots of languages. And let's see if I can speak in any other dialect. And let me search for Italian. They have Italian. Let's see. And don't blame me, it's the browser, not me, using that accent, okay? Does it nearby sounds like Italian? Sorry? Oh, sorry, I select the wrong one. No, it sounds like. That's what I was missing. I was missing that accent. That's why everyone is not responding. So please do the favor for me. Cool. So the point is, it's really silly, but the way you can use it is enormous. You can create a screen reader without using any third-party thing, right? Without including any library or anything like that. In addition, you have options to set the rate, the pitch. That's sleepy one, and that sounds awake. And how to do that? This is the only thing you need to do that thing. First, you need to create a speech synthesis object. And this is basically how I change the dialects of the the language of the browser. Like I'll get the voices and I will select which voice I want to say. If it's English, if it's Italian or Bhasha Indonesia, then I can select the rate which pace I want to speak, and the pitch, and finally, literally speak, right? It's as simple as that. So let's look at the next one. Ready for it? Yeah, now it's working, I think. Speech recognition. It's not that hard to recognize what this API does, right? So it basically takes a voice command and tries to translate it. And now you have all the right to be cautioned, this can fail. Okay, so let's try this. I started. Hello. Okay, it's working. Let's take it easy. Still working. Okay, we can stop now. Stop, please. Can you stop? Fine. Okay, I'll manually stop you. Okay, that's how it should be stopped, because I was too lazy to control the stop command, right? The point is, it almost identifies what I say, right? My accent is neutral, so it works a bit fine. But may or may not, it will be working fine with everything. Now let's have a quick look how this works. So all we need to do is speech recognition object. Right now it's WebKit because it's fully supported in Chrome, but still in progress in Firefox. So it's still prefix dependent, and maybe in a month, 2, or maybe 6, who knows, we can get it for every browser. Okay, so it throws some functions like on start, on error, on end, on result. So what happens is, so it's working fine. Okay, so on start did nothing. Basically, it gives an event like someone starts speaking. On error, everyone knows what it does. If there is an error, it will throw an error. On end, it declares everything is done. It has been done. Our interesting thing is on result. So on results give me actually text, and it gives me some flags. For example, it gives me interim text. It gives me final text, and one keyword call is final. So what in the backend it does, it tries to understand what I say literally, and then chunks of what it takes and try to make sense out of it. If you see when I was speaking, it was typing something, and then again it was changing the words, right? So that's the interim results plus the final results. When I get the keyword is final, I know that this is the final result my browser wants to give. Okay? So this is the speech recognition API for you. Shall we proceed to next? Okay. Media capture API. How many of you know this? Perfect. My job is easy. All you need to do is get your media devices, basically your camera or maybe your microphone, and get the user media of it. Maybe it's a video, maybe audio, and once you have it, you have a stream of the object, like video stream or maybe audio stream. So let's quickly check it. Okay. I'm sorry, you have to bear my face twice, so I hope you don't mind. So the thing is, like, this is live stream of my my camera, and now this stream is in my video object. I can take a photo, and next to it, now this is a canvas. I can do almost anything to that. For example, make it gray using just CSS filters. There's nothing more to that. Okay, I can collect some options. Anyone wants any option to be clicked to know what it does? Blur? It makes me blur. I mean, as it says. So the thing is, it's really very small example, but I can think of a full-fledged camera filter app from this one, right? Just using my media streamer and some CSS, which is cross-platform. I can deploy it on iOS. I can deploy it on Firefox or Chrome, anywhere, right? Right on my mobile. Not right on my mobile. Okay. Now the next one. Let's see. Vibration API. How many of you know this? Perfect. Because this is the hardest one for me because I cannot create a demo for that. I have a demo, but I don't know how it will work. I mean, if you want to check on your phone right now, you can do something. You can go to this URL and try it. Try to just click it maybe. And this is one of the simplest API because it literally is that it's, sorry? Oh, sorry, I was a bit. It's tinyurl.com/wipe please, PLZ. Fine with everyone? Shall I move? Perfect. All you have to do is literally this. Either give, this is in milliseconds, like it will vibrate for 200 milliseconds. Or you can pass an array. This time it will vibrate, this it will not, this vibrate, this not, like that. You can create a sequence, how many times you want to vibrate. Okay? So I'll move to the next one, which is network info. Now, the four APIs we are going to discuss next is what I feel are more of UX API. Like these are the auxiliary APIs which help you to get better of your user. For example, this network info. You can always detect when the user is online, when the user is offline, right? So this actually helps you to give a better user experience. Since user is offline and he's typing, you have a, let's say, messenger app, and your user is for some reason offline. You can actually let him or her know, like, hey, you are offline, this message may not be sent, right? I will try to take one more risk and try to connect my phone, and let's see if that works. This can be a bit tricky, but hopefully it works. Okay, it works. This is my phone. Not actually it looks like, but the colors are different. But okay, let's check network info. Oh, come on, I always click it back. So it shows some information like I'm online, connection type cellular, connection bandwidth 4G, and some other data, right? So it gives me a lot of things to do. Like if I'm streaming something, depending on the bandwidth, I can change my streaming, right? Right from my browser. Okay, this is all the network API do. Next thing we can have is, or just to explain, these two events, which I think are really good, because you have an event, you know when someone is online and offline, and accordingly, you can do the magic. How many of you know this API, orientation? Have anyone of used it? Has anyone of us used it? Can you give me an example? Where did you use it? Awesome, awesome. So, have anyone, do you remember this game called as Temple Run? You know what I really like about it? It was engaging me because instead of just swiping or pressing key, I was actually able to rotate it and control the runner, right? It's a kind of user experience, right? Instead of just letting him type or maybe enter something, you are using user gestures, right? So I've created a small demo for you, and let's see if this works. Oh, not. I better will show on my phone probably, because why not? Okay. If you can see how I rotate my mobile, accordingly, this ball is going. And this is best of my imagination what I can do. I'm really bad at that. I mean, I'm a developer, and I wish I would have. I wish I would be a bit of designer. So, okay. So this is device orientation. So what it gives basically, it's as simple as that. There is device orientation. This event can be hacked, and whenever this changes, this position changes, it gives me three things: Z, X, Y, and everyone knows what the Z, X, Y stands for, right? Okay. And funny enough, all three are behaving differently. It goes from, Z goes from 0 to 360, X goes from -180 to 180, and Y goes from -90 to 90. I have no idea why it is, but it is. I mean, why not like same convention for all three? But no, why? Why? Because I don't know why. But this is how it is. The important part is it's giving me exactly three-dimensional position where my phone is. in which direction my phone is. I can be that calibrative, right? Okay, let's move to the next one. Battery API. How many of you know this? How many of you used it? How many of you experienced it? Can you give me an example? Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. So the point is, this is again what I told our auxiliary APIs. You can use this to improve your user experience. Like someone is playing your game and your battery, the user battery is 15%. It's really good to tell him or her like, hey, it's just 15% left. Are you still want to? Do you still want to continue? Right? These are the things which you can use to engage your users. Right? I'll quickly check if my mobile still works. Come on, not this time. Okay. Mm, let's see our battery API. So this exactly tells me my battery is charging. My battery level is 86%, which actually is, if you can see on the top, yeah, 86%. And battery charging time is in milliseconds, it's fast. And discharging time, infinity, for sure. So I'll check the same thing on my browser because um, it's the same thing. Battery charging, yes, and I'll plug out my charger. It gives me an event. Battery is not charging, right? So accordingly, you can give your user whatever experience you want, and for sure it will be good. Next one, Web Share API. How many of you know this one? Awesome. Just one? Okay. How many of you can guess what it does? Like as a PWA developer, one of the thing I really hated is I cannot give this experience to the user. Like if I want to share something, I have to copy it. I use the copy events, and then the user has to go and open it. For example, Twitter, Gmail, WhatsApp, Telegram, anything, and then paste it, right? But good to the browser developers, they created an API for this. You can open the native share dialog right from your browser. Shall we try it? And disclaimer, it may fail, so just beware with me. Um, let's try this. So this is a small, and as you can see, what a good designer I am. So this is the best I can come up with. So to jsday IT, and I want to share it. This is right from my browser. I clicked it, and my share pop-up comes up. And I can share it via Gmail. The message I wrote, the title I wrote, and the message which I was lazy not to write. The point is, I can do this now. We are living in 2019, right? We don't need any more to copy paste or do something like that. And coming back here, don't you think it's really simple, right? It actually, like one of the most simplest API I have ever seen. Like it's navigator.share. You don't have to even explain anyone what it does. Navigator.share. You have a title, you have a text, you have a URL. So the thing is, why we have a specific thing called as URL? Because some apps convert the URL into a card or something like that. So this passes them directly there. So it's easier for the app to understand that this is a URL. And if it is not considering the URL, it will just append to the text, append to the text message of the share. As we saw in my, okay, it closed again. Let's see. As we saw here, pwapower.n. Okay, so that's share API for you. Cool, we are moving fast, I think. That's good. Because I'm out of my steroids. And this is the last one, which I really feel happy with. Bluetooth API. How many of you know this one? Awesome. How many of you used this one before? Perfect. We have it. Can you give me a use case? Where did you use that? Just for your fun project? Awesome. That's really good. Because I'm kind of doing something very similar. So first I'll show how it looks like, and then probably we'll discuss how these things work. And now everyone really needs to keep their fingers crossed because it's out of my browser, and I already gave a disclaimer, it can fail. So if it fails, just try not losing it. So this is a Bluetooth bulb, okay, and which hopefully turns on. Oh, it turned on. And I'll try to connect this to my browser. Okay. Okay, there you go. Now this is going right from my browser. I can change the color of the bulb. Any color request? Which one? Purple. Sorry, I don't have it in the list. I should have not asked that question. Okay, then I will take the lead. I'll go with green, then blue, and maybe turn it off. Why put it black? Because black 000, it turns it off, right? Again, brighten it up. And okay, this works. So in the event that it works, I'm getting a bit more ambitious. Let's try something. So I created this simple file uploader, and I tried to put some of the magic in it. And it says whenever I upload a file which has red background, it converts to red. Or whenever I select a file which has orange background, it goes to orange. Not impressed? You don't need to, you don't need to, you don't need to. Okay, again, since this also worked, I'm getting a bit more ambitious. And I'll try to do something more. Do you remember this demo from my previous slides? So basically, this captures media stream. And let's see. Let's try to show them a red color. If you don't mind, can you hold it for me so that everyone can see? Because sorry for the hassle. So hopefully, it works. I show them a red color. It works. I have two more options. Which one you want? Green one? There you go. If it doesn't work, don't kill me, please. Oh, shit, I cannot see it. I should not be that ambitious. Kind of, whatever green it understands. So my point is, thank you, sorry for the hassle. And please, round of applause for the gentleman. Okay. So my point is, there was a Bluetooth API, and there was another media stream API. It's on me that I club both things and put some JavaScript logic to make this work together, right? That's what our job is as a JavaScript developers, right? And that's what I'm interested in. I'm here to give you some just pointers, like this can be done. But it's on you guys, like what you can do. And if everyone who's in the room, I know if he or she is here, they want to do something. And probably we'll have some more better PWAs. Okay, after this, I have one more Bluetooth device. Do you want to say it? But that's more likely to fail. So both fingers crossed. So I have this small Bluetooth speaker, which is really good at lighting, but not as a speaker. Strange. So this is a small device, and for that I have to first disconnect it from the and connect it from the browser. Okay, it reflects. Perfect. So again, the same thing. I connected it, and I can actually control everything, which I can do it here right from my browser. Every part of this code is residing in my browser. I can change colors. Come on. And as you can see, I am really not good at drawing. So I can just clear it, or maybe clear as a whole. And since the live drawing you have seen how I draw, I have pre-created something. a flag of Poland because it's one of the easiest flag. So this is being drawn right from my browser on this device, which is not connected anything other than Bluetooth. Okay? And for sure, I'm in Italy. So why not? This is my best try, and hopefully I haven't done it wrong. What do you say? Is it right? Perfect. So there you go. And just being a bit more ambitious again. And this can for sure fail, so don't have your hopes high. And let's see if this works. Poland, not working. Okay. Okay. Let's try again. Poland. Okay, it loves Italy probably. What I can do is quickly check. I didn't recognize my accent probably. Poland. There you go. Like this also woke up with your claps, you see. Okay, but let's try. Italy. Let's go. Okay, one question I have been always bugged by, and I really want this to answer. Vanilla JavaScript or TypeScript? How many of you are in sync with this answer? I'm glad that every one of this worked. So the thing is, this really looks cool when it comes together, right? Individually, when I show other things, okay, it's there, but it's again on us how we club it together. Like I use speech recognition API and clubbed it with my Bluetooth API to get something like this, right? And just imagine if you give this kind of experience to your user. How happy? I'll give you a better use case. I went to a hotel in Poland. I was yesterday in Poland, and they have this smart device thing. Like you go to hotel and you click, you can turn on the bulbs, fan, AC, and everything, right? But I didn't like it because for this I have to install an app, a 30 MB app, just to turn on my light. I will really prefer to just go and turn it on, right? But just imagine, give me a link, like, hey, this is a QR code, you can have a link, or maybe just type something, right? An app opens, you can just use it, because I reside only for one day. I went there on 7th and came here on 8th. For one day, I no way installing a 30 MB app. Instead, I will prefer a website link, which I can use it to maybe a 1 day, 2 day, doesn't matter. And if I stay more day, maybe a month in Airbnb or something, I will install it gradually, right? So that's PWAs for you. Oh shit, still, come on, you guys didn't tell me. Okay, coming back to this. So for this, all I have to do is first check how many devices I have. So if I don't pass any of this, okay, I will get unnumbered devices because almost everyone has Bluetooth in their phone on or somewhere. So I tell my browser either the device name, for example, this is play bulb, so it knows. I can directly type the play bulb. But just in case if I, don't fall please. if it doesn't, I don't know the name, I can tell the service. Like this is an example I use for my heart rate monitor. So I can say like any device which has battery service in it, please get it. And once it get it, I will create a small server of the Bluetooth device and connect it. I mean, I don't have to do. Browser developers has done that very good. So we just need to use that. Then get the primary service. So basically, this is the service which I want, the battery service. And then there is something called as characteristic. So basically, with the battery service, what actually I want to do. For example, I want to get battery level, right? Or maybe for this, I will like lighting characteristics, something like that. So with these from here, I have the characteristics, service, server, everything ready. Now what I can do with this characteristics, I can just write it, like how I did here, how it got the red color. I sent something from here, which wrote the value in the device, right? And accordingly, I didn't use this in my example, but for heart rate monitor, if you want to create a chart or a machine which records all the heart rate of your system, your body or someone else's body, you can read the characteristics. So basically, this is an event listener which has characteristic value change. So whenever that changes, it will send you a signal back. So that's how you can create something. Okay? So that were the steroids. A quick question. Which steroids do you like the best one? Which one? Yeah, out of these one, which one you like the most? Yeah, that was a metaphor, but yeah. Out of all these okay, let me put it very bland. Out of these APIs, which one you think or like the most? Tough question? Which one? Network status. Okay, interesting. Okay, I'll give you time to grasp that. So beyond that, there are many more APIs, which is obviously not coverable in one session. But I would really appreciate if you can try searching it on your own and get to the best places, Mozilla Developer Network or developer.google.com. They have the latest data and everything authentic. How many of you have heard of this payment request API? Awesome. This is really cool. You should check it. If you are in e-commerce, you should check it. Okay. Do you know any success stories of any PWA? Or you can guess anyone like, or have used any PWA? Reddit. True. That's one of my favorite though. Here you go. There are some PWAs which really are doing good. Like, if you go to this address, developers.google.com/web.showcase, they have a complete case study how exactly this works, how were their stats before and how were their stats after they deployed a PWA. So this is right now being adopted by everyone. If you, cool, yeah, this one. Okay, what is the future of PWA? What beyond this? How many of you know this term? WebAssembly. Okay, to put it really, like, I went to someone who was talking about WebAssembly and I asked him like, hey, I'm an idiot and please explain me what WebAssembly is. All he said was, you can port your C++ code in JavaScript. And trust me, he was not kidding. He did that. He did that. So it's that powerful. It requires a whole lecture of its own. And I believe there will be more APIs because I am very optimistic when I got the web share API. And for sure, we need a better browser support. And people are working for that. These are some references where you can learn more about this. And this is all my demo where the pwapower.in site is powered by this repository. So if you want to just, and don't judge me on that because I wrote in really, really hurry, but it has all the content. And you can always reach me out on Trishul Goel at Twitter. And thank you guys, girls. Thank you.